everybody. Hey, welcome back to another episode of AFC Northerners. I'll get the introduction started. I'm Mark Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
Jan David Sutan, Ravens Nation.
Chris Atkins, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, all right. And before we get started,
That's right.
we have a very special thing for you, good sir. We have gotten you, finally, your
finally!
Browns
He steps up to the real
There you
deal.
go.
There you go.
Wow.
A little cheers.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
I'm going to stack the table with 2 cups.
Well, this cup will be gone next week, but you know what? And a jersey. He retired.
This cup will be on injured reserve next week.
So we got a mug and we got a Bernie Kosar throwback jersey.
I know, right? I love
you.
that.
How great is that?
It's
So,
epic.
All right, and on a somber note, we'd be remiss if we didn't give our condolences out to the Saunders family. John Saunders, 30-year veteran of ESPN, passed away today at the young age of 61.
Yeah.
This guy was a founder of the Jimmy V Foundation. He used to cover NCAA basketball with Jimmy V and was a founder of the foundation. So a huge loss, and our condolences go out to the family.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll get started on news. But what we want to cover is what your impressions were the first week and a half or so of training camp. So I'll get started with the Bengals. We yesterday added a corner, Tony McRae out of North Carolina A&T. And our joint practices started today and scrimmages with Minnesota in preparation of our game with them this Friday. Overall, the week has been kind of a mixed bag. We got hit really hard with the injury bug. Darquez Denard has an ankle injury. Tyler Croft, who was supposed to step in for Tyler Eifert, hyperextended his knee. Looks like we dodged a bullet there, but it's just a hyperextension, but still not good. And then the worst part is the torn pec. Our number 1 draft pick, William Jackson III, Billy Jack 3, torn pec out 3 to 4 months. Might be shelved for the season. It depends.
I would put him on the shelf. I wouldn't even bother.
Well, and that's the
Not
good
worth
thing.
it.
If you look at what a lot's been written and said, we weren't expecting a lot of him this year. So, he was just adding depth, and we weren't really pushing him. So we can redshirt him just like we did Cedric
So
Abogwe.
let us draft him then.
So no, we can keep him. We want the good guys. We certainly don't want to see him in becoming, joining the dark side over there.
Nobody wants that.
But on the plus side, Josh Shaw's looked really impressive. Tyler Boyd is the real deal, as advertised. He's going to be a plug-and-play starter. Billings looking like he's going to be a plug-and-play starter. So a lot of positive things.
I feel like you're just throwing both of them in my face.
Love. I can't wait till the regular season when Tyler Boyd is doing a dance at Heinz Field in week 2. That's what I can't wait to see. But we'll get on to that. So, Brownies, what do you got?
I really honestly hope that when we go to Heinz Field, Coleman will do a dance on the field,
I would
but
like
not
to
in
see
the
that
end
too.
zone, right in the middle of the field at the 50 on the fucking bullshit. That's what I would like.
Hopefully they use the right paint in the middle
Yeah.
of the field. I had it. We couldn't let that get away.
Yeah. How screwed up is that? So that Hall of Fame.
great.
Well,
Brady had
what's that
something
even
to do
mean?
with
Like, we used the wrong paint.
Well, apparently there's a different crew that covers that field.
Is that crew
It's
run
not-
by the Patriots?
No, they're
Yeah.
it's the Hall of Fame, and they only play one game a year. Then they couldn't have the field ready for.
You had one job.
One job.
You had one job.
Exactly.
When Sweesom was toast last year, they had an entire year to get that field ready for the one game, and we canceled it. So that's just humiliating to the NFL.
And embarrassing.
Good to have them do a better
Brown
team.
news. We play our first preseason game on Friday. That's an 8 p.m. and we're in Lambeau for that soccer. RG3 was named the starter. Terrell Pryor named the number 2. That dude has really stood out in camp.
Proud of him.
But yeah, there's a little
Proud
bit of
of
a
him.
drama with Terrell Pryor and one of his old college.
Ohio State.
State.
A bunch of Twitter nonsense. That's all that shit is.
Yeah.
I know someone personally who played with Pryor, and he said something along the same lines.
I could
just
care
throw it
less
out
what
there.
type of attitude the guy has, as long as he can go out and score.
Yeah.
We're going to use this guy for trick plays. We're going to do everything we can. He's been named the number 2. When Gordon comes back week 4, he'll probably drop down to number 3. The offensive line, right tackle, is going to be the key for us this year. And we're probably going to do a rotation of Greco, Pasteur, Drongo, Bailey, and watch out for Sean Coleman as the 5th entrant right there. Coleman's been returning punts. That's a good thing. Honestly, I really think that the wide receiver battle is going to be really key for us. Secondary and the defensive line, defense in general, it's a whole different day and a whole different conversation. But it's going to be the wide receivers. We've got a ton of speed there, and I really expect to see Coleman, Gordon, Pryor, Higgins, Hawkins, and more make the squad. Watch out for Ricardo Lewis and Darius Jennings. I think we find a way to hide those guys. In other Browns news, we waived 5 I can't think of the fucking word. Insufficient guys, and we signed 5 insufficient guys.
Expendable crew members.
Not performing.
Expendable crew members.
Yeah, basically.
I do want to say that Ifro Akrapo, I'm going to have trouble with this guy's name, Akri Alamu, was waived by the Browns last year. He was picked up by Miami. This week he tore his other ACL and Miami dropped him. So,
sucks.
you know, the guy who had first round talent went in the 7th round, and now his career is pretty much done.
And it's like, I feel like whenever I was a kid, we didn't hear nearly as many ACL tears.
ACL tears, your soft tissues, that type of stuff. I mean, we've got a couple of guys dealing with that. No worries on that front though with that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the CBA and the lack of practicing. So
it's conditioning and a lot of things.
I'm surprised how unconditioned people are coming into camp. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's what they do for a living. Yeah. You would think that they would be more prepared, more in condition, and do what they need to.
Certainly make enough. Veteran minimum is $750,000 a year. That's still substantial money, enough to where you could stay in shape all year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
how hungry are you?
Yeah.
Moving on to Ravens. Okay, so first, basically coming back on the training camp rather. Man, it was a bit of a roller coaster for us as well. We had some scares. Dennis Pitta got injured, and everybody was holding their breath to figure out what it was. Turns out it was just a finger because he got into it. And a real surprise also coming out was like Terrence West. Watching him, also Kamalea Correa. Man, that KC has got some stuff to prove. He's just trying to destroy people. We still got a lot of people out. You know, Steve Smith, Suggs, Doom, Perryman is still a unicorn. We got Chris Moore, Crockett Gilmore's out, Kafusi's out.
A lot of your injuries are like tight end and that wide receiver spot, and that has to be kind of scary.
What's a little scary right now is that there was a report that Dennis Pitta was out because of his finger/hip.
Right.
So it was like, what?
Well, that's a big
exactly.
It's got a history there. So
and plus you got Chris Matthews, Maurice Kennedy, all kind of like right now kind of on the bubble as far as what their injuries are. And you still got like Ronnie Stanley, like he said, soft tissue, but he came back to practice yesterday, Tuesday. He came back to practice, so that's encouraging.
Right.
Because dude's awesome. Campanaro, Max Williams. I don't know exactly what his injury exactly is. So there's a lot. Flacco still looks good. Looks like he's throwing like he should. Like he's paid to. Yeah.
22 mil he's paid to. 22 mil.
Yeah, Dixon, Brown, Smith all look pretty good. So there's that. It's coming into this preseason game against the Panthers. I mean, none of our starters are going to play. So it's really just seeing what our second string and third string really is about against a team that went to the Super Bowl last year and got their ass kicked. So exactly. So,
but that's preseason is all about.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I mean, the most meaningless statistic is the final score of a preseason game.
Exactly. And
So
I was having a conversation with a guy in my car because I drive Uber. Hi, everybody. So there was a guy that came in and we were talking football, and he was like, "Why are preseason games? It doesn't need to be 4." And I'm like, "I'm totally with you." And we were talking earlier before the show. 3 preseason games and add 1 extra regular season game. How awesome would that be?
Well, and I think it's going to be
the part with the CBA.
I think it's going to be a bargaining chip. The players' union will give it if they get the suspension powers over the review, the appeals away from Goodell.
Yeah.
So we're saying it should be 3.
Yeah.
3 games.
So
I think that it should
use it as a bargaining chip.
Get rid of the frickin' Pro Bowl.
Yeah, we've said that. Yeah.
What if there was just an extra week of training camp rather than preseason game? I mean, I think the point of preseason is so coaches can go and evaluate the players. So let them evaluate on their own time, on their own field.
Well, again, that's all part of the CBA.
Yeah.
They can only
I think
do it.
When they redo the
see
CBA, they can check it out. But
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's like that's pretty much it. What's going on with the
All right,
Ravens?
what do we got? Steelers news. Let's go.
Steelers, I'll start with the bad. We got some injuries out there. Really, unfortunately, Senquez Golson, he looks like he may sit out his second straight season. I was really excited to see him get back out there this year. Not happening. Darius Green, haven't seen him on the field yet. Gerald Hawkins, his shoulder got hurt, I want to say yesterday, in the practice against the Lions. And Bud Dupree's a little dinged up, but he'll be fine. He'll be out there. Now, the opposite of injuries, people coming back. I'm really excited about this to see my man Marquise Pouncey out there. From what I hear, he's back to his old Pro Bowl self, doing all the things I'm used to seeing him do, so really excited to see him. Bell, as well, I'm hearing is cutting pretty well on that surgically repaired knee. Hasn't had too much contact yet.
No, they're not.
But-
Let anybody touch him.
They're not going to.
So
But I think he's going to be okay.
we'll touch him. Oh, we won't see him late in the season. You got to be suspended.
Yeah.
You got to be suspended week 4.
We'll see you later on in the season.
You got
and
it.
if you make it to the
Look
playoffs, maybe
forward
we'll
to
see
it.
you there.
Oh,
Maybe.
if we make it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Shots
It's starting
fired.
already. Woo!
This is why I love football so much.
I cannot wait.
Starting already.
Okay, a couple other people I'm really excited about. Shazier and Sammy Coates. Sammy Coates, I think this year might make people forget about Martavis Bryant and his whole suspension. I mean, Bryant really opened up the window for this guy, and it's the wrong guy to open up the window for.
I've read the same thing. That
So-
he's really positioned well.
Really
Yeah.
excited to see him get out there and see what he can do. Shazier, like I said, I mean, he's been unblockable in the Steelers training camp practices. I heard he did really well against the Lions as well. Other guys are doing well against the Lions. Anthony Chickalow, he was a outside linebacker / DN. Sat him last year. This year he came in, dropped 30 pounds. Looks like he's doing really well, especially in the pass rush. I see him backing up Stephen Tuitt, maybe even getting in on third downs this year. A couple other guys also doing really well.
No, I was gonna say you heard about Antonio Brown almost getting ejected from practice today, right?
He's too good for him. They just don't want to see him anymore. They're just like, we're done with him. He is just frying anyone the Lions.
Well, no, he almost got ejected because he was basically, it's like yelling at one of the hired refs that was working. He was like got into it with one of the refs that was working at practice. Like, what's your deal, man?
Dude, it's practice.
I mean,
We're
I
talking
don't
practice.
that's
It's not
his
a game,
thing.
it's
That's not his
practice.
thing. That's not his thing.
Super Bowl.
The other person I'll talk about that's really impressed me right now is Sean Davis. I heard he came in very conditioned. He's making the most out of his opportunities, doing really
Do you
well.
think he gets to start at safety, or he's going to see his minutes in the nickel corner?
I think the nickel corner is where he's going to start out this year. I think that he, right now, is performing much better than Burns is. I think he's going to be an easy nod for that nickel back.
You think Brown's gonna get? Brown. Everybody's saying Brown's pretty much unlikely to get a deal done before the season. So, man, where does he go? What do you think's gonna happen? Like, what does he have to prove?
He's got 2 years. I mean, let
That's
him
their
play out the
problem. Is
season.
that's the Steelers don't negotiate.
The
with 2
Steelers
years
don't
left. That's
negotiate
their
beyond
policy.
your
It's got nothing to
contract
do.
year.
But if they were going to make an exception, this is the guy you make. An
Yeah,
exception.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
know.
it's AB.
They
I
renegotiated Ben with 2 years left. So
He's going
this
to
is-
bonus out and all. He's going to get all of his bonus money. He'll be okay. He's not.
He's not starving. He's
not starving,
and he's
But
okay
I mean,
wherever
you're right. I
he
mean,
is.
there are guys that are performing he's performing way better than most guys, if not all.
No, he's way
definitely not
outperformed
getting.
his contract.
Yeah,
It's not
definitely
even
not
a
getting
question.
the money like it
So-
should be. But they're going to take care of that when his time's up.
No.
Yeah.
The Steelers will take care of him. I'm not worried about it.
Well, let's start covering some guys that we're looking to step up there and steal some roster spots. On the Bengals side, second-year guys. That's the key. We're looking at Cedric Abogui is going to crack the starting lineup. He would have been a top 5 draft pick, probably the best lineman coming out last year had he been healthy. We drafted him, we redshirted him. He's kind of sneaking in. It's almost like we had 2 first-rounders because he's going to be hitting the lineup this year. But other guys, we got Paul Dawson out of TCU. I mean, this guy's a beast. Didn't really make an impact last year. I think there was a learning curve issue with him. Second year, he needs to make his mark. Deron Smith, one of the reasons why we didn't sign Reggie Nelson is because of Deron Smith and Sean Williams. So those two guys are going to step up. Sean Williams is a third-year guy. Deron Smith was our 6th rounder last year. And then Mario Alford, our 7th rounder, I've talked about him before. He's got a chance of stepping up, and at least in special teams. He makes the team for sure. He's going to be returning kicks. And like I said, he's only played wide receiver 2 years at West Virginia. So he's now got 3 years under his belt at wide receiver. Third-year guys, Marcus Hunt, this is a make-or-break year. This is it. It's time to step up and do it. Granted, this guy, if you remember his story, he's the Estonian shot putter who came to SMU. Who came to SMU. They canceled the track and field program, so he joined the football team to keep his school scholarship. So he's new to football. So this guy learned the game at SMU. However, he's a physical freak. I mean, this guy, in 1 year, his last year at SMU, he blocked 16 field goals and extra points.
Jesus.
So, I mean, he's just got these amazingly long arms. He's a physical freak. He's just learning the game. Now's the time to break in and crack the lineup.
Wow.
So, and contribute. So he's just, the physical tools are there, but this isn't a guy who grew up, following and playing football his whole life.
Well,
So,
it's just going to be a whole bunch of kick sixes.
yeah, right. Well, we got the Steelers. They're going to go. The Steelers are going to go for 2
And everybody
anyway.
else was like,
That's right. That's right.
So, and the last one I want to talk about is don't sleep on Cody Core. This is a guy. I mean, we're talking. Sammy Watkins got all the press coming out of college, but who's the better pro wide receiver? It's being DeAndre Hopkins. And we're thinking maybe we got the same thing here with Cody Core. And we didn't get Treadwell, but we got the bookend on the other side at Ole Miss. So don't sleep on him. I'm reading a lot of stuff that this guy's impressing. So he's got a serious chance. And he would be another late round, late round steal. Another TJ Hushmanzada or something in the draft. So I'll say, Brownies, who you got? Who you looking to step up?
Danny Shelton, Xavier Cooper. If we're going to stop the other teams from scoring points, those two guys are the guys that are going to do it.
Very important.
I really think Shelton's really going to have a monster year. Ogba, I really think with Shelton there, I think it's going to be hard to run on us, to be honest with you, especially if Shelton can do what he's supposed to do and stop the run up the middle. It's going to force you guys to go outside, and I think we have enough speed to cover outside runs. Those are the two guys I think, Shelton and Xavier Cooper.
Well, how many of the missed tackles did Shelton have last year?
How many players did you lose last year?
Yeah, 21.
Two hens and an egg, man.
Yeah,
What the
right.
We
fuck?
got, hey, it's another year. We're looking forward.
You're gonna shit
Yeah.
yourself when you finish dead last in the damn division.
Keep dreaming. Keep
I
dreaming.
don't have to dream. You guys got a list of injuries right now.
Yeah,
and
and you-
no number one wide receiver, please.
Again, like I said, I mean, Justin Tucker came into the draft. He came in undrafted, and now look at that. So I mean, I'm saying like, I don't put much stock in like the first round of any draft. Really, it's like second and third round is where it's at for me. So
Are you going to take both from the Browns?
sure.
That don't sound too confident.
Yeah.
does it?
It didn't.
You know what? Honestly, it's like the season we had last year. It doesn't. It's so unpredictable. And especially like this early on, it's really tough. As far as Ravens, like guys that I'm really I'm keen on watching through the preseason.
What was that?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What?
Do you think
Oh,
Martin?
my nose keeps on itching. I've got like this one nose hair that literally keeps poking me every time I'm breathing. It's annoying me.
Wow, that was a little TMI.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, so out of like basically,
Ravens guy shares everything.
I do. I share everything. With going into the preseason, like the three that I'm really trying to keep an eye on. One is offensive tackle Alex Lewis. He's originally from Arizona. His mom, by the way, is freaking amazing. So she's I want to say it's Kimberly Lewis. But she's part of like Desert Nation Army out in the Arizona area, and she's just the biggest sweetheart. She's so excited, and her son is so excited to be a Raven. And he's stepping in right now for Ronnie Stanley since he's injured. We picked him up in the 4th round, so I'm excited to basically see what he has got going on. There's Zadarius Smith, what his sophomore year is going to be like.
Right.
Jeremy Butler, his sophomore year, he was kind of on the bubble for me last year. I wasn't in love with him, but at the same time, he did make some very clutch catches. 31 catches, 363 yards. So, I mean, for playing 8 games last season.
That's not bad.
That's not
Especially
bad.
in year one, right?
Exactly, year one, exactly. So those are the 3 that I'm really keen to kind of check out as far as that. I'm still, as far as like the under the radar player for me, is still Tavon Young, cornerback.
Okay.
everything I've seen, everything that I've heard, like he's a guy that could be, and I preface this, could be a really good ball hawk because he seems to have an eye for it. He seems to be able to know where things are going, and he's aggressive.
Where do you have him on the depth chart?
I think I still see him like he's still starting out, like, but I still see him like as at best right now second. But I mean, it depends on who winds up going out because he's still competing, with the likes of like Jimmy Smith, of course, and that crew. And it's tough, but I think that I don't know. It's a gut feeling basically.
Right.
Okay.
We're on Steelers.
All right.
Steelers.
Got a few guys here. One, Roosevelt Nix. He's one guy I want to see do a little bit better. We're looking to kind of expand the offense around him. He's kind of blurring the lines right now between an H-back, tight end, fullback. Might even get the ball in short yardage scenarios. Want to see him step up this year. I need to see a tight end step up. I don't care which one.
Yeah.
Green, Jesse James. I mean, Grim, but one of you guys step up. Like, something's got to happen. There's no clear starter yet. And the thing is, each of these guys are situational to me right now.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone we have out there is situational to me. Jarvis Jones at linebacker. I mean, this, I think, is really kind of a do or die year.
Yeah, this is making
Yeah.
for
Are you
him.
going to be
Yeah,
on the team?
absolutely.
I was holding my breath to see what you were about to say about it.
He's been a disappointment so far.
Yeah, he really
Huge
has.
disappointment. I mean, are you going to be on the team next year or aren't you? Because we've got some guys coming up behind you. The last one is left tackle. He's going to be watching Ben's blind side. There's two guys over there. Newcomer Ryan Harris, I think we got from Denver, and Alejandro Villanueva. He's kind of been getting beat up a little bit. Nueva has. He's been getting most of the nods to go with the first team, but I kind of see Harris maybe edging him out towards the end of camp here.
All right.
So,
Very cool.
we had the pleasure of having a segment on another YouTube show.
Yeah,
Why don't you tell them about that?
New Stripe City, which it was a great show. Ace Boogie's the guy who hosted, had us on.
Yes, thank you, Ace.
So
Yes,
Ace,
thank you very
great, calling us the AFC North Suicide Squad.
That's right.
I love that.
Awesome.
It was
Suicide
awesome.
Squad.
So if you haven't gotten a chance, check out his show, New Stripe City, Bengals YouTube show. Great guy. Love the conversation. Love the back and forth. Really, really fun. I don't know what his Twitter handle is, but we tweeted it out. So again, New Stripe City on YouTube.
You can find the
Check
link
them out.
on my Twitter feed,
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
AFC
Or
Northern's
AFC
Twitter
Northern's.
feed. So they're excellent. And then we're running a fantasy league. We got any
Yes.
spots
Yeah.
left?
We got three.
We
And
got
we're taking
three
the
spots
first
Spots
The
left.
very first three that respond and say they want in, you guys are getting the invite. Anybody else that bothers, unless the first three don't respond, then it's your shot.
Yeah.
First
And,
come, first serve.
you can
First
check
come,
it
first
out, afcnortherners@gmail.com.
Yeah, please
Email
send
us
it.
that. Email us there and say that you want to be a part of the fantasy football.
Or even comment at the bottom of this video.
Yep.
Yeah, that too, exactly. If on YouTube, because we love our YouTube commenters.
Yeah. And going into the YouTube commenters, we've got MXX was a newcomer comment.
Nice.
Heard from Mr. Ubertater again. We had a John O'Shea who jumped
Hi,
in.
John.
John who jumped in on the conversation.
Are you sure it's not John O'Shea?
Yeah, I think it's O'Shea.
Is O'Shea?
Yeah.
Okay.
O'Shea.
Hey, you
You're
know,
O'Shea
it's,
now, buddy.
This end of the couch is botching names
You
left
know,
and right.
hey, you know what?
Right,
It's,
right. That is
you know,
this episode. Our episode is
That's
basically
right.
nothing but botched
Botched
names.
names.
That's right. Austin Carr. We had a DTF23. So
Wow.
I know. There you go. Thank you.
All right.
TTF 23. I
Right.
love your name, brother. That's amazing.
Yeah. I cook you your rice.
I cook you your rice.
I
love-
know
I-
he's commented
whenever I
before.
saw
He's
that-
not a newcomer, but I
I
love
love
The
it.
name
That's
is
the best
Just
handle.
Jesus and
Name's
football.
awesome.
We've got
Yeah.
some of the best handles.
I love
on
our
YouTube
commenters.
guys.
And feel free, it's like, again, if you're,
and I'll let
if you're,
you've been butchering names. So what do you got there?
Pedram Nixab.
Nixa. There you go.
you know
He
what?
got
I think
into
that
it.
was very,
Never mind.
well done.
He got into it with Brown Shoe T2 and Bruce Coleman. They went on.
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
there's 71
Brown Shoe's
messages
got a-
there.
You guys
Bruce
Two guys.
Coleman's my dude.
Yeah, so
Brown
He's
that
got a
guy.
jumpy over
All right,
there.
all right,
How
we
many
should
he
wrap
had
this
bar
up.
in the
That's
back?
definitely so, and we're going to predict records, but we will do that on our next show,
Yep.
regular season records, and
Yeah, let's we'll do that in like in a week or two whenever we know a little bit more
2
about
weeks.
preseason.
yeah. Well, after the third preseason game, we'll do our
Let's
predictions.
Let's see who survives the first.
Let's see how we do.
There you go. And then, how does everybody reach us? We're on just about every social media
Oh, so
platform out there.
on Twitter at AFC Northerners, on
Facebook.
Facebook AFC Northerners, 2 words AFC Northerners, and then of course on YouTube you can find us there. We post on Reddit. So it's again on AFC Northerners, and you can also email us any of your mailbag questions. We didn't have time to get to them today. We had a lot of information,
Right.
But you can email us afcnortherners@gmail.com.
Yes. So there you
All
go.
right, cool.
And we will sign off as we always do with
Fuck the Patriots!
All right, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.